Obviously, Zest and Soul is going on, I appreciate that, but I want to cast the TvT in full, and it's on my main screen, so we're going to be doing that. Let's put the Zest Solar game on for you guys to enjoy for a little while. Again, if you want to watch the PvZ, it's happening over on No Regrets channel, so you guys can go check that out if you'd like. To the bottom left-hand side from Psystorm Gaming, our Blue Terran player opening proxy 2 racks is GuMiho. I already regret choosing to cast the TvT. Why proxy 2 racks? I hate you. It's the one build I don't like casting. It's so boring. Well, it's not too boring, but... Anyways, the top right-hand side, our Red Terran player is Gaming's INnoVation. So we're going to be seeing Proxy 2 Rax Reaper coming into play here from GuMiho. Gonna get this set up and ready to go. One Rax coming down, soon to be followed by number 2. And we're going to be telling the refinery. Going up on each side of the map, of course. I mean, eyes on INnoVation. If he starts second gas here, okay, good, he does. Now, second gas already makes life a lot better for INnoVation right from the get-go here. Going to make him hold on to this very, very simple. Just a quick update from Zest Solar, by the way. A lot of roaches just hit Zest's third base. He's actually somehow pushing it back with 2 Immortals and 3 Sentries. There's a lot more roaches coming, so Solar's definitely looking to keep on being aggressive there. Just to give you guys a quick update as to how that is continuing. As the roaches continue to press forwards and see what they can do. Actually, as these racks are just now finishing this TvT, Reaper's just now starting to come on up, and INnoVation isn't scouted yet, so that's important to know. But it's the ZVP that really has my eyes on it right now, because it looks as though those roaches are going to break through, and it looks as though Solar is going to be able to grab himself game 1 of that best of 3 in the semi-finals. So that ZVP already starting to head in Solar's favor. He has control of the third base, and I think from there he'll close it out. That's cool to see just the last few moments of that now before we get ready for this TvT. As we'll be seeing GuMiho. His first Reaper arrives, and now INnoVation knows what's up. Actually going to have his factory delayed right away, sends an SCV back onto that instantly. Gets the first shot on that Reaper, so actually has a slight upper hand there. A few SCVs will stick with his Reaper usually to be able to protect it from another Reaper coming out. INnoVation will generally go for a Hellion right away here, and then in towards a Cyclone a little bit later on. The problem with the Cyclone is it just takes so long to build initially, that while it is generally a bit better, the Hellion does the same sort of job. It's good enough. It definitely helps a lot against the Reapers. It's fast enough to chase Reapers down, etc. And we are going to see the coming down here. As there's Hellion about to pop, again, it definitely changes things up. INnoVation has survived so far, but you know, remember nowadays 2-Rax Reaper is not an all-in sort of build as it used to be. 2-Rax Reaper is very much so a very macro-oriented, has macro-oriented follow-ups, and that sounds weird, but it definitely does have those, follow-up attacks or follow-up builds which allow you to just play the macro. For example, here, INnoVation's CC on the natural is delayed, and as INnoVation continues to defend, he gets his next Hellion out. He will defend here. He'll start to kill off these Reapers. He loses the Hellion as he goes. He'll kill one more Reaper here. But, as it continues, INnoVation is in this sort of position where... Just wait a moment, because this Reaper's going to pop out. Okay, he's going to get a kill. But INnoVation's in this position where he's still sort of, not in a, he's not in a lead because he's defending this, right? I mean, he has a tech advantage of the starport, but a Cyclone can help to defend the tech advantage of a starport nowadays. So that's definitely something.
Game paused.
So you have a quick pause here from INnoVation. So INnoVation going to pause, and again, just to recap the game at the moment, it's equal workers. Neither player started command center yet. INnoVation has a few more minerals though, and that definitely will help out. But and he also has the tech advantage, but again, it's definitely defendable and still a winnable game for GuMiho after the opening here. Why is my phone dying? Ah, my phone just sucks lately. Wow, my phone's just completely crashed. Alright, Crank needs to resume the game because he is the referee. And we'll get back into this right now. So, back into the game, and we do see a couple of racks just going to lift up here from GuMiho. Starport is just about a quarter of the way done. Cyclone coming up on each side of the map at the moment, and we do see that command center from INnoVation on the natural expansion too, so he is going to be the first to expand. Reaper comes in for another couple of kills. SCV's pull against this because moving across the map right now is INnoVation. Loses his first Reaper to the Cyclone though, and I'm not sure what a Reaper and 2 more Hellions are going to do. This Cyclone is just going to be way too good. Loses 2 SCVs, but again, faster expansion on the natural definitely works out for him. His own Cyclone getting some damage done here as well. More Cyclones from GuMiho. Going to go into Medevac as well, which will give his Cyclones a bit of mobility around the map. That will obviously work quite nicely. So you can see this SCV is going to come back into the natural and see what else is going on. Look to see if there's much happening. He's going to get himself killed off there by the Hellions. So in the end, they do find something. And 2 Cyclones, though, what do you do about it? You just sort of back away. You can't fight it. It's just crazy how good Cyclones are against these other early game units. As we are going to be seeing this Reaper up into the main. INnoVation, again, he's got the expansion, so this is really, at this point, all in from GuMiho. If he doesn't do something amazing with these Cyclones, he is in a lot of trouble. If he'd expanded a bit sooner, obviously it's a bit of a different scenario, but it's just because INnoVation got the expansion up. And now he's killing SCVs with his Reaper as well, and finally a Cyclone shows up to try and shut it down. If this Reaper hops to the low ground and slows down the command center, it's just going to hurt GuMiho even further. And it's going to be pretty close, honestly. He actually hops up to the high ground instead to kind of avoid the Cyclone a bit more. Honestly, I mean, that works too. Continue to kite away. Cyclones do arrive on the other side, but a Cyclone and tankers here, Marines and Hellions, everything that's needed to push this back. INnoVation holds for the moment. Which long enough, because again, he's ahead in workers, he's ahead in command center. It's about being orbital as well, so extra mules. His army's going to keep on growing too. And INnoVation is so well set up now as GuMiho. Somewhat of a desperation Cloak Banshee play here, I feel. There's nothing wrong with going Cloak Banshee as a follow-up, but this is like the Cloak Banshee that has to win him the game because, well, not win him the game, I guess, but it has to do mega damage to bring him back in the game. Because otherwise, what else is going to be happening? Viking moving around doesn't see much just yet. INnoVation getting his own Viking. He already has a Raven, though. So even the Cloak Banshee is unlikely to get loads of damage done. Of course, it still can do some damage here, but it's just not as likely. It's not like something you look at and you're like, okay, well, this is definitely going to be a, defense or whatever. Cyclone here to the south side. It's just going to be set up and waiting to see just what is happening next. Banshee on the way out here from GuMiho, and we are going to be having the well, first one's already heading away to the top side. 2 more gases means that we're probably going to be seeing just mech play committed. Oh no, he actually does have double racks. I guess just because he's building Banshees and wants to build tanks, he does need the double gas. It makes sense. He's also going to want to start up stim pack, etc. soon, so... I mean, he has the double racks from earlier. I guess he could still play mech from here. It's not impossible, actually. He's going to start up Marines, so looks like it will be bio. It's still possible to play mech if you open 2 racks Reaper and then you kind of, it would be weird for him to bro 2 racks home, but it's still like a possibility where, you can still just throw the extra factories down, etc. Do you see the 2 Cyclones still coming around towards the upper right-hand side? INnoVation, GuMiho clashing here in the semi-finals, but it's definitely INnoVation. He's gotten off to the better kind of setup so far. He's now 8 workers ahead, and that's of course a massive deal, as he's been ahead for so long in this TvT mirrored matchup. He has a faster stim pack. He's now getting faster +1/+1. These are all upgrades which are going to give him the advantage when it comes to a later game engagement. Not even a late game, but I say later game. I mean, like, a couple of minutes from now. You see Raven out of position, so there's just going to be a few SCVs going down. So at least it's going to be 6 SCVs, I think. There's 5, and there should be 6 now, and the Vikings just going to start doing damage. I think he interference Matrix to Banshee. You can't afford for more workers to go down than already have. And interference Matrix just really guarantees that. Banshee actually just gets out of there. He doesn't actually look to take it down in the end, so it's a bit of a shame he scans in the bottom right side. Looks as though there's another Banshee he had to deal with. Third command center starts up in location into an orbital here. Again, GuMiho's a bit behind on that, but the Banshee definitely helped him catch up in worker count. Now the army of INnoVation pushing across, and the big advantage again is the upgrades. Right now he has stim against no stim for the next minute. In about a minute he has combat shields, in about a minute he has 1/1, so even waiting for that stim of his opponent wouldn't be such a bad thing, because he's still going to have other upgrade advantages to work with. Again, not finishing off that Banshee, he's going to start costing INnoVation just a little bit here. 2 Cyclones as well. INnoVation's going to start losing quite a few SCVs. This is really going to hurt. A lot of tanks from GuMiho are going to be able to defend. 10 workers have been lost here so far. Finally, these Cyclones will go down as the tank comes into play. The Banshee dealt with in the main base too, but GuMiho takes a worker lead. And again, INnoVation, upgrade advantage or not, it's going to be difficult for him to find an advantage when this tank's just sieged up and holding the positions. Cyclone's actually locked onto the Raven, that's always nice. These tanks do fire away. We can see this bunker going down very quickly, so bunker denied. Still just a few Vikings sat around here, just for the moment. Now the tanks are sieging and get ready to push a little bit further forward. Still Vikings. And the Vikings are really nice. Having the air control means he already snipes down a medevac here. Look at that upgrade lead though. 2-2, about as far along as 1-1 for GuMiho. GuMiho taking some shots on his third CC whenever the tanks get vision. INnoVation will start to reinforce. And that's the thing, he has all the time in the world to reinforce, because what's GuMiho going to do about it? I mean, you can't push in or anything to kind of slow things down. You can't, you know, you don't want to run that many siege tanks, right? So, definitely isn't pretty. Some tanks on siege, others are pre-siege. Again, another few reinforcements coming in from INnoVation. Still has an upgrade lead. Still pushing towards 2-2 to keep that upgrade lead. And maybe as well, INnoVation just has the map control. You see the Raiders coming down, actually over into the Raiders the first time. You see the Raven goes into a fall, and he kills the third CC. Obviously, that's a massive deal here. Well, that's obviously just... It's the beginning of the end for GuMiho, right? I mean, this wasn't pretty for him, and now this really is looking as though it's kind of, you know, his time is draining. He has to rebuild the third CC. It's going to have a massive amount of time where INnoVation's mining off the third base comfortably. And you can already see that income advantage starting to swing up in INnoVation's favor. It's going to stay like that for the next minute and a half or so until the CC's back online and mining again. Because that's true. GuMiho can definitely contest with the production of his opponent, but until then, INnoVation is just going to be extending a massive army supply advantage, because he's just going to be building up a 3-base production instead of 2-base. Well, here we go, there's Marines coming in. He's going to get rid of most of these tanks. There's going to be one that survives down to the south side, and that's going to be all good right there. So INnoVation is still just looking pretty okay, just holding this position. And looking, again, okay in general. Meanwhile, in the ZVP, we have got Solar and Zest. Now, Solar is in a great position right now. He's got Hydra Ling pushing in towards Zest's base. Honestly, it looks as though Zest is just about to die out. I'm going to leave down the picture-in-picture here for just a moment while we watch these tanks. Are actually going to get the kill on the third CC again. Obviously, you can't repair or lift it. It's still this Solar, no cancel. GuMiho in trouble again. He actually tags out for GG. I'm probably being a little bit quiet as well because my neighbors are in, so I'm just making sure we're a little bit quiet for the next couple of hours until they're wrapped up for the day, so we don't get kicked out of the studio, which would be sucky. Guys, at the top left hand side, our blue Terran player from Storm Gaming. Give it up if you're cheering on GuMiho. And down to the bottom right hand side, our red Terran player from O Gaming is INnoVation. I love the fact that O Gaming have started a StarCraft team. It's pretty sick. It's pretty cool. Alright, we actually are getting ourselves into some WCSEU games as well, guys. We actually have Hate Me against Hades, it seems, in the first round. Which is pretty awesome. Again, we'll just kind of have updates from that for now. Obviously, we're going to focus on finishing the Kung Fu Cup for the moment. But nice to know we've got that kind of follow-up going on. Bottom right hand side, INnoVation, top left, GuMiho as we get this underway then. Again guys, if you're enjoying the stream, hit that follow button. Maybe hit us up with a sub if you're really loving the stream and want to support us further. It's a weird day. It's been a very quiet day. We had a lot of viewers, but it's been very quiet in terms of subs and stuff like that, so... It happens, but it's just a bit slow. It's okay. I get it. We're just getting back into the swing of things. All good anyways. Hope you're all having a good time. And we are getting ourselves ready for Game 2 of this semi-final. Again, the winner of this plays solo in the Grand Final, where there's $300 up for grab for first place. And again, after this, we're going straight into WCSEU qualifier. After that, we're going straight into WCSNA qualifier. We are busy all day long here with StarCraft 2 action. So much going on, so much happening. Looking forward to all of it. Reaper from INnoVation will start to move its way across the map towards the upper side. As you are going to be seeing INnoVation. Intrigued to see what happens here. Obviously, this game is a little different to the first game because there's no 2-Rax Reaper or anything. Maybe just going to be sitting up in the top left-hand side, having a little bit of a look to see what's going on. Command Center will start up on the natural from INnoVation and from GuMiho now. There's a build that INnoVation loves to do, and if he's gone double Reaper, yeah, it does seem as though he's probably doing this already, which is actually got a Hellion, which is a bit different, but he will get the Cyclone now. So the general idea is to go in towards the Cyclone production. You go up to about 6 Cyclones, and you take a third CC behind it. The third CC is pretty much on... you take a natural CC behind it after opening fairly aggressively. Ah, that's a really painful loss for GuMiho. Loses his first Reaper, which just straight up means that it's... okay, he actually went Cyclone right away. So GuMiho is actually going for the version of this build which I recognize. INnoVation changes it up. He actually goes for a Starport. So the build I'm talking about, which is actually popularized, I feel, by INnoVation, is what GuMiho is doing. INnoVation goes for a Starport, so we'll see what he tries to do with this. Maybe a Cloak Banshee is a possibility, of course. There's a few different ways that this could go, so I guess we'll find that out in the next few moments. See exactly what's going to be happening here. And as we do see the couple of Reapers and a Hellion coming up the right hand side, getting ready to see what's going to be happening. Again, I mean, with two Cyclones at the front, it's difficult to break on through here. There's the reacted Cyclones. Now, this will generally be a tech lab on the barracks into Stim, although I imagine there's definitely ways you can turn this into a mecha play, which is something that GuMiho is fairly well known for as well. So, you know, you can look at this in a couple of different ways right now, and I definitely think there's a couple of different choices as to what this could be in the near future. So a couple of Cyclones going to be popping out, and as those Cyclones pop out, those Cyclones from GuMiho still chasing a couple of Reapers and a Hellion down the right-hand side. It's going to be seeing those units going all the way off in towards the center of the map, as we do see some Marines and Cyclones going to be gathering together, lifting up some units here. And again, just more units of INnoVation gathering just out the front of the natural expansion. He's got a Cyclone to actually dealing damage to his depots over here. It costs GuMiho a scan, but it is going to supply block his opponent. One Cyclone, two Reapers and a Hellion try to fight it off, and he only loses one of the depots in the end. But it's the four Cyclones that definitely make this difficult. INnoVation with the bunker will make this a little bit of a different scenario. And the fact that GuMiho, okay, he does still have two Cyclones over here. Let's see what INnoVation can do as he brings his units into the main. GuMiho continues with Cyclone production. Again, it's not quite what you would usually see. You usually expect to see the Cyclone production stopping around now already. As you're going to see the medevac, it is going to go down. He's obviously chasing for those Cyclone kills. He's going to get one of them. So one Cyclone for a Cyclone, but that's about it. It wasn't a great trade from INnoVation, to be honest. And right now, GuMiho is playing a great game, going into a third CC as well. A little bit faster than INnoVation, and it's in location too. So GuMiho's really controlling this game right now. That Cyclone presence on the map is really going a long way for him. Was that a lag spike, or was that just GuMiho stopping his Cyclones? I'm not too sure. It's a little bit of a strange moment. So I was like, wait a second, what's going on here? I didn't really know. Couldn't really tell. Two Reapers going to be coming forwards, and, well, the Cyclones for now are going to be able to push those couple of Reapers away. Another couple of Cyclones coming in from the left. The side Reapers going to get pushed all the way away towards the right-hand side here. And there is that third command center now morphing into an orbital. We do see a Hellion towards the front. This bunker is just going to be taken down pretty quickly. One Cyclone does fall, another Reaper in the back gets taken down as well. A couple of SCVs will be dropping, and we do see Cyclone's still fine. Honestly, INnoVation turned this fight quite well into his favor by targeting the Cyclones quite nicely. Yeah, some SCVs were lost, but, you know, honestly, considering he's down on Cyclones, he really turned that around, and GuMiho pushed all the way back here. And we do see this is going to turn into mech from GuMiho. Continue the Cyclone production, now an armory, extra factory. He's getting ready for the next stage of this, which is mech against INnoVation's bio play. So INnoVation playing bio from a slight deficit is always scary, you know, because mech is such a great army. Usually you need to have the eco advantage, the mobility advantage. That obviously isn't going to be the case for the moment, and could definitely hurt him a little bit here. More Hellions and GuMiho down the left side of the map. A couple extra barracks on the way down from INnoVation 2. Those four Hellions still just trying to see what they can get up to. A couple of tanks will siege. Stim back about halfway done. Combat shields also coming up here from INnoVation. 1-1 upgrades too. SCB just going to repair up this Cyclone as well, and again a few more Hellions are going to come across to the right hand side, so still trying to see what else they can get up to. Cyclone's going to greet them for the moment though and stops that initial run by from happening. INnoVation's going to expand up the right side. I have to say, in the last couple of days we've seen a hell of a lot of expansions on this right hand side of Catalyst. It's kind of intriguing to see so many people going for it. It definitely, you know, it's definitely a bit unique, you know. It's definitely a little bit different. Some Hellions still approaching the front. Cyclones do turn a fight. There's a lot of Cyclones here though now from GuMiho. No upgrades just yet, so Cyclones aren't super powerful. Upgrades really do scale amazingly on Cyclones just because of how fast they fire. Every single one of those hits benefits from the Cyclone upgrades, so... Well, a Raven here. An anti-armor missile obviously could be huge if GuMiho was able to hit it correctly. We are going to be seeing INnoVation staying defensive, which again, considering he's the bio player against mech, is somewhat concerning, right? Getting his upgrades now, though, and 1-1 upgrades maybe gives him the confidence to push out onto the map a little bit better. Cyclones, tanks, bio, all coming up the right-hand side here to see what's going on. Hellion gets picked off, and now we're going to see this little bit of a skirmish starting up. And all the way towards this upper right-hand side. And we are going to see the supply depot will get taken down as well. So depot falls. We're going to have a couple of tanks that's going to try and siege up. INnoVation. Well, at least he has presence on the map now. I wonder if his goal here... I think it kind of has to be focused on the idea of, hey, I'm going to try and deny you from ever getting a 4th base, because there's not really much you can do about the 3rd base. Although I guess at the same time there's that possibility of just dropping towards the main. There's definitely an opening here where you can drop into the main and hit the production. Oh, we're actually going to see the commitment in on both sides. Hellbat's dropping on top of this here from GuMiho, and he is going to get a lot of damage done because of those Hellbats. Tanks getting taken down, and INnoVation actually survives with a lot of bio at least. So a lot of bio gets out of there, but the tank can't truly reset from INnoVation. That does make holding positions that little bit more difficult. This unit's still just gathered up towards the top side of this at the moment. We are going to be having a few more Hellbats just being loaded up, being set up here. A few medevacs from INnoVation coming on over to the left too, plus 2 vehicle weapons on the way on this armory. 5 more Hellions coming through, and we are going to see all those medevacs going to boost on over to the left side. These few Cyclones are going to come down to the bottom right as well, and well, still just this army just gathering up together. Cyclones will run in, they will go after a few of these SCVs, 3, 4, 5. There's really nice damage being dealt here, as at the same time INnoVation in the middle of the map cannot hold on. He's not going to be able to keep this going, and INnoVation is going to be, well, in the end he kind of cleans it up, but he's struggling, man. He's down 11 workers. His army supply is similar-ish to his opponents, but he hasn't started 2-2 upgrades. INnoVation is throwing everything to try and end this game right now. This is a nice drop on top of a couple of tanks. It will start off very well for INnoVation. He's able to get quite a lot done here. Here come the Hellbats now from his opponent, though. Those Hellbats really just turn everything around here. INnoVation not going to be able to make this work. And we are going to be able to see those units getting pushed away. INnoVation is not able to really keep up with this mech army. He knows it. GG. GuMiho ties our Series 1 final. Bottom left-hand side. I really think we picked the better semi-final now that this one's gotten going. So the bottom left-hand side, our red Terran player is Sidestone Gaming's GuMiho. Tying this up 1-1 is to the bottom right-hand side, our blue Terran player from INnoVation. From not INnoVation, he is INnoVation. He's from Gaming. Aye, aye, aye. He is INnoVation. Darkness Sanctuary for Game 3 to try and wrap this up. Winner of this goes to play solo in the best of 5 final. Is TvT guaranteed? And we'll see how that goes. Again, we're going to be joining WCS EU qualifiers as we get going. And right now we're already in some of the WCS EU qualifier matches. Just going to throw some picture-in-picture up right now. Hades against Hate Me is actually a pretty good first-round match. And it's, well, it's actually already delivering. 11 minutes in, it's pretty back and forth. A lot of drones have died, a lot of SCVs have died. Roaches all over the place, mech play underway. And that Catalyst game is going to be continuing. We'll give you guys updates from that as we go, but again, we are mostly focused on the Kung Fu Cup as we continue along here for the foreseeable future. Quick tab while I run the ad break for all the break that we just had. Alrighty, and we are seeing a factory coming on down here from GuMiho, so that's getting set up and ready to roll as a CC from GuMiho. It's already coming up, so he's actually going to go for the faster expansion. INnoVation on the other side of things. He's double gas again, so we'll see kind of how he goes for this. See what he wants to try and do is we do just have this Reaper just sitting up on the high ground and going to be back and forth a little bit. As we do see the command center factory reactor all on the way from GuMiho, so INnoVation, well, he has the tech advantage. He's going to go try and use it with a very fast cloaked Banshee. We'll see if this is going to be something which works out here against that faster expansion of GuMiho. If he can get enough done with the Banshee, he can definitely make up for having the later expand. Let's see if that's going to be the case. So, we're going to be seeing the starport is on its way up from GuMiho as well. He's not going to be skipping that. He's making Hellions here initially. And here comes the starport onto the tech lab, ready for that first Banshee to be produced. Nice and quick, not messing around. And there it is, Banshee on the way up, the cloaking upgrade starting up as well. And as again, that Reaper hops up in towards the high ground. Hellion and a Reaper though, I mean, able to be around here. Great scout from GuMiho, seeing the cloaked Banshee. It's really going to allow him to make sure he's 100% prepared for it. That should limit the damage INnoVation can be, get done here as he gets ready to take his expansion. Again, much later than GuMiho, but he does have the tools on the map to get some damage done to again make up for that. So we'll see how this goes. Tanking away from INnoVation too, so even the follow-up here from INnoVation could be somewhat aggressive with something of a tank push coming through. We'll kind of see how that develops in the near future. Hellion currently chasing down this Reaper. And that Reaper's going to take quite a few shots as it will eventually fall right there, so Reaper going down. We do see this Banshee. Again, second Banshee now on the way up, so it's getting ready to go. As this first Banshee is coming down through the south side, across the bottom left. Alright, CC then from INnoVation again is behind, but it's plausible. That's not good though. First scan comes down, didn't even need to scan just yet, but he does get it. It keeps the vision in case it gets high ground, I guess. And it's a kill for GuMiho on the first Banshees. That's a really nice catch. Really great start for GuMiho here in this TvT, as that tank will just not quite find the shots on those Hellions to get rid of them. So Hellions still around. Cyclone's approaching the front as well. First Banshee dead, second one moving across, makes a third Banshee too. INnoVation can keep up with these Banshees. Currently 6 workers down, his CC still yet to finish and morph into an orbital, so really trailing heavily when it comes to that kind of, that's kind of economy here. 2 tanks, Marines, all the way through the south side, and INnoVation is now starting to push. I guess his advantage might just be the fact he has tanks, but if the Cyclone's in play, I'm not sure how much he's going to get done here. Raven is out as well, so he has some detection for this Banshee, as INnoVation will just back away. Banshee will provide high ground vision, which is actually kind of nice. I just don't know what you do against these Cyclones. I mean, I don't think the 2 tanks really make enough of a difference. He sieges up one, it's going to go down before he does anything. This is disastrous for INnoVation. I mean, the build just didn't work out. His Banshees didn't achieve anything. GuMiho with a perfect defense while expanding quickly, and I mean, that's just the absolute perfect combination to set up into the victory right now. As I mean, this tank's getting chased down, Marines are showing up and getting picked off. This Banshee's the only thing that's not dying at the moment. He actually does target down one of the Cyclones with the tank. He gets another as well. Well, unsiege the tank. He's actually starting to clean this up. But again, he's still 10 workers behind. His Banshee's currently dealing with army units rather than pushing across the map to deal with workers to shut down the mineral, shut down the kind of income. 14 worker deficit here, and INnoVation is in trouble. He starts up at 3rd CC, but it's also behind the 3rd CC of GuMiho, which is again in position because he has the map control. He had the units on the map, and so he had the confidence to build this in location. So he throws that down in location right here, no problem, doesn't care. This Banshee of Inno going to be coming across in towards the center. Have a little bit of a look to see what is going on. Find a few Hellions perhaps, get something done. We are going to be seeing the first shot off there onto one of the Hellions. WardiTV in the chat asking why did they spawn so close? Isn't it usually corner to corner? This is a 4-player map, so there's actually all 4 spawns are enabled. So top left, top right, bottom left and bottom right are all actually the same set of bases. So you can actually spawn in any of those bases, and so it creates this sort of dynamic where actually each game on this map can be a bit different because you can get cross spawns, vertical spawns and horizontal spawns. They all play very differently. But a lot of players don't like it because it does add an RNG factor where certain spawns, certain positions are better in certain matchups, etc. Nice catch on this first Raven. And a lot of players are very upset about it. It also kind of adds randomness into scouting, etc. A lot of players are very unhappy with the fact that 4-player maps have... a 4-player map has re-entered the map pool, so... Either way, we do see this Banshee coming in towards the natural, and we'll actually have a lot of SCVs to pick off. Honestly, as INnoVation starts to lose these, I don't know what he does. I think he might just tap out the game. I don't think he really has much to stick around for, as we're going to be seeing. I mean, he's lost 14 workers recently. He's down to 28 SCVs against 63. All GuMiho has to do is survive. But INnoVation does have the army supply advantage, so I mean, as little of a chance there might be, there is a chance here. That's what I'm saying. There is hope. If he has to do something right now, though, he has to push forwards, he has to do something with everything he has. He just has to go for it and commit in and see what he can do. It's kind of funny, a few Hellions and a couple of Cyclones to the south side. That Banshee should cloak up from Inno, gets the scan though anyways. Banshee's going to pull away, but it means those units are so out of position that the rest of these tanks, etc. are going to siege up. Now those Hellions and Cyclones are a bit of an awkward spot. Well, INnoVation is going to move his way right up in towards the natural. There's nothing in the main base either. INnoVation is starting to get something done here. Hellbats will morph in. That helps a lot with, in terms of what he can actually do here in terms of cleaning up. Gets rid of one, and hopefully both of the Cyclones. He does get the fire off to do that. Interference Matrix on these tanks at the front. Marines are fine though. Gets rid of the Raven. Interference Matrix comes off, but there's the Hellbats in the back, and the Hellbats are good enough here. and that will be the cleanup needed from GuMiho to finish up this game. 18 workers killed, and INnoVation might feel like, maybe that was enough for me, but this third base is fully saturated from GuMiho, and I mean, he might feel as though that went okay with the workers he killed, and honestly, it did go okay, but it just didn't go well enough in the end, and that tank's going to go down now. He's going to turn and try and fight you off the auto turret, which actually works out quite well. He's going to win the fight in the skies, perhaps. He is going to get that kill with the Vikings. A few Cyclones left over, but INnoVation is still playing from such a deficit, and he knows it. As he scans, he sees the third base and all the rest of it.